Hey y'all, it's Kim, and today begins my new series for January of 2026 on $1 a day per person for this whole month. So I'm gonna what I've done is I've got 2 people in my house. Let me set this dollar down. I don't need it. 2 people in my house, and that's January's got 31 days, so times 2, that gives me $62 for the month of January. And that's all I can spend. And if I run out, I run out, and we'll just deal with it. So my rules are, the only thing I need to purchase this month from any grocery stores or whatever, it was within that $62. And the other thing is I can use my pantry staples, pantry supplies, like all my seasonings, all my fats. I'm not planning on purchasing any fats unless it is like a meat that generates fat. Like bacon generates bacon fat, right? So, but yeah, I found some deals, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, back to my rules. So, the next rule is, in my freezer, I'm going to try to leave my freezer alone, but the one exception is, sometimes I cook ahead, like I get a good deal on ground beef, and I'll go ahead and cook it all and put it in the freezer. Now, once something like that is frozen, cooked and frozen, you've got a limited time. I want to say less than 3 months. Once it's cooked and frozen, it extends the life, but not forever. So if I've got something in the freezer, like say cooked up ground beef from, I don't know, like October or whatever, it needs to be used. Or so I'm going to look through my freezer. If we want something with ground beef, I'll look and see if I've got something from maybe October or November. I'm not going to pick anything from December, because that will last past January. So anything from maybe October, November, I can use. The other thing is no dumpster diving. I'm not going dumpster diving at all for anything. I'm not going foraging for anything. I am doing, though, Sam's Cash. Now, I have a Sam's Club account. I get Sam's Cash because I've got a Sam's Club credit card. So any Sam's Cash I get, I can use. It didn't cost me any extra, and I've got it sitting there waiting to spend. So that's my one sheet. My next sheet is CVS. So I get CVS extra bucks, and if I've got extra bucks sitting there and I find a deal on something, I can go get that. And I got some of that back here, but y'all, you can see a little bit behind me. Yeah, it does look like more than $62 worth, but we'll see. I'm under budget, but this $62 has got to last the whole month of January. That is $1 a day per person, $62 for 2 in my house. Let me show you what I got, and then we will talk about what I'm doing. I'm not going to do my normal menu planning, but we'll talk about all that as we go along. So just a second, let me turn the camera around. Okay, y'all, look at all this. Look. We'll get to this little side over here shortly, but let's start over here. So, we've got meat. We've got meat here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, I went to my local butcher shop. It's called the Little Butcher Shop. It's in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I found some deals. So, let me find that little receipt. So, here we are. Here's my little receipt. They have this meat. This is ham. This is a whole bunch of ham. This is 3 pounds worth of ham. So this is kind of what's left over after they do their sandwich meat, and this is kind of the ends and that kind of thing. This 3 pounds of ham is only $5.99. That takes it down to about $2 a pound for ham. So that's a good deal. I picked it up. Now let me explain this. This is, yes, in a freezer bag. And I am filming this after Christmas Day, New Year's Day. So I'm in the South Mississippi, Hattiesburg area. And for New Year's Day, we do black-eyed peas and cornbread. I needed a ham hock, and I had a 2-pack, and this is what's left. So I've already used the ham hock, the other one that's in there. I used the smaller one to go with my black-eyed peas, and I still have this one. So this is now freezer, and I'll use it later on in the month of January. So The ham hock was $3.98 for 2 of them. And then I did get this, the buy one get one free. These are the same as the ham ends. What's left over, these are the bacon ends. So these are, I got 4 of these, buy one get one free. Each one is $2.49. So what is that? 5, 4, $2.49. It would be $5.98. That's not right. $4.98. $4.98. Okay. $2.49 each, and I got 2 free. So 4. And what I'm going to do is divide these up into probably 3 different freezer bags. Put them in the freezer so that I can see. You see this? This is going to generate a lot of good flavored fat. So 3 different recipes. And one of the things that my grandmother taught me is when the budget is tight, money is tight, you use meat as a flavoring, not as a big fat main ingredient, right? So this, I've got 6 pounds, and that's not going to be a pound per, I mean, not 6 pounds. I've got 3 pounds, but that's not going to be a pound per meal. That's going to stretch way further than 3 meals. It's probably going to stretch to at least 6, maybe 8. So this is going to be good flavor, and plus, I mean, you know, it is basically bacon, so you can't eat it. So I'm going to divide this up, probably 3 freezer bags per pack, and so that's 4. That'll be like 12 freezer packs of that. So that is what I got at the little butcher shop. And here is my little butcher shop receipt. Y'all, only $15.70, and that includes tax. Before tax, this was $14.95. We do have a 5% sales tax in the state of Mississippi. So that is $15.70 including tax. I have to pay it, so I'm including it in my budget. Okay, the next little section here is Walmart. So I got a few things at Walmart. I meant to buy rice. I did not do it. I think I may have some rice left over in my pantry. Maybe get us through this week. Maybe a little bit. But I do still need to buy rice because that's a good, cheap pantry staple. But I still have to buy it. Anyways, this is what I got at Walmart this morning. I just forgot. I just went right on by it. So I got a 2-pound box here of the elbow macaronis. This is $1.94. Now again, I'm in South Mississippi. We are grits. We are grits people here. This is a 1.5 pound container of quick grits, and that is $2.18. Then I got me a big old 4-pound bag of the pinto beans, and that is $3.76. That's a really good deal. I did get a 1-pound bag of the great value all the way here on all this Walmart stuff. A 1-pound bag of the lentils, and this is $1.92. That will help stretch any meat that I may use, so I can add that to some meat and help it stretch, and it's a good protein thing. And I've got this, which I've actually already used it, but I thought I'd include it because I need to put it back in my pantry. Black-eyed peas, a 1-pound bag, and this is $1.66. And so, I mean, I wanted to include that because that's a New Year's Day tradition here in Mississippi. So we had black-eyed peas and cornbread for the first, and so I need to put it back in my pantry, and I need, you know, had I not had it, I would have had to buy it. So that is my little Walmart haul here. And before tax, this was $11.46. With tax, it was $12.03, but the lady that checked me out rounded it down and gave me back $8, so it ended up being only $12. So $12 for Walmart. So that's $12 gone. Now let's move over here to Aldi. And y'all, all these stores are really close together. Matter of fact, Sam's Club, Walmart, and Aldi are all in a row. So, Aldi here. Not much here, but I did get a loaf of bread. It's the split top wheat. And this is $1.39 for that big loaf of bread. And then I've got 4 cans of the green beans. And these are 50 cents each. And the last thing I got was the almond milk. This is what my daughter drinks. She doesn't drink regular milk. It bothers her digestive system. So I just buy her the regular almond milk, no flavoring. And this is $2.49. So that's everything right there that I got at Aldi. So here's this receipt from Aldi. Before tax, it was $5.88. With tax, $6.17. Now, I've got all this stuff over here. This is Sam's Club. This is CVS. So let me explain about CVS. I've used Extra Bucks. They had all of these items here. This is for my daughter, her breakfasts and mostly breakfast, but you know, she can put these bars in as a, you know, side for her lunches she's going to pack when she goes back to college. And so anyways, these were all $1.99 on a good deal at CVS. So I got them because they were $1.99. And I had CVS Extra Bucks. So I paid nothing out of pocket for this. So this is how many in here? 5. 5 of these muffin bars, Nature Valley muffin bars. This was also, everything was $1.99 at CVS. So I got this cereal here, the Great Grains Crunchy Pecan, $1.99. And then my daughter really likes the Frosted Mini Wheats, and that was $1.99. So that's nothing out of pocket for these 3 CVS items. And I said one of my other little cheap things that I do is Sam's Cash. So I had Sam's Cash, and I've got more coming, so I can buy more later on in the month of January. So let me, gosh, hang on a second. Let me bring up my receipt, because I love the scan and go. So so I don't get a receipt in my hand. So let me bring this. Okay, I got my receipt pulled up. So I got this, these 2 heads of the iceberg lettuce. This is $2.67 for that. The 5-pound bag of cuties here. This is $6.62. And then we've got the bananas. This I always try to pick some that are on the green side so they last all week, and with as many bananas in the bunch as possible. So there's 9 bananas in that bunch for $1.56. And then I picked up these. This is not the low carb or carb, whatever it is. It's just normal flour tortillas, and I got these because they're you know, cheaper than the carb, whatever it is. Anyways, there are in this pack 40 flour tortillas, and this was for something. No, $5.68 for that. Okay. And then back here, hiding back here, is 2 jars of peanut butter, a good protein source. 2 40-ounce jars of peanut butter, and that peanut butter is, where is it? Peanut butter is $7.78. So that's a lot of peanut butter and good protein. And if you want something sweet, you grab a spoonful of peanut butter and you're good. The last thing I got was 2 of the packs of rotisserie chicken breasts. So what's in here is 4 rotisserie chicken breasts and wings. They're $3.98. It's basically yesterday's rotisserie chicken, and they break it up between wings and breasts in one package, and then they do the legs and thighs in another package. We only like the white meat, so this is what I get. So $3.98 for each of those, 2 of those. Lots of meat in these packages. Plus I can use the bones to make chicken broth. So let me get some of this out of my way, and we'll come back and look at totals. Okay, I found these in the kitchen at work yesterday. What people do is they have things left over from, you know, like Christmas break, and they had extra things that they bought for their family that didn't get eaten. So they'll bring them in to work and put them in the kitchen, kind of a grab and go. I always wait till the end of the day, and I saw this. These my daughter loves. So these will be good for her lunches, and they were left at the end of the day, so I took them. No price on these, but these are basically those cosmic brownies, Little Debbie cosmic brownies. So 4 of them. I am going to put those over there. This is free, and so yeah. But let's take a look here. So here we go. $1 a day, $62 for the month, January 2026. At the butcher shop, $15.70. This includes tax. Walmart was $12 because that lady rounded, and that added to be $27.70. My Aldi was $6.17 with tax. So I spent a total today of $33.87. I take that away from my $62, and that still leaves me for the month of January $28.13. I do know I have to buy another big, huge bag of rice. So that's going to be less than $4. So there's that. Now my free items, other than the brownies, because I just can't figure out how much that would be. So my CVS with tax would be $6.27, and my Sam's Club with tax, is that with tax? Yeah, with tax. I did do the math with tax, $33.88. So my total that I got from CVS and Sam's with tax would have been, had I paid out of pocket, $40.15. But this is free, so this side's going to be my free side. So we are good. $33.87 and is what we spent so far for January, and that's what we have left, $28.13. So let me go regroup. We need to talk about the food that I can prepare with what I've got and what I plan on buying. So let me put this away. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about what I've got in my refrigerator. I do want to include that because there's food that needs to be used that I did not purchase in January of 26. So I've got I think two squash in there. I need to use that. I've got some cabbage that I was given. I need to use that. I've got this is all in the refrigerator. I think I've got some bagged salads. I need to use that. So if I've got it, and like especially produce, y'all, that don't last. So I'm not just gonna let that go. I've already got it. We need to use it. So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna try really hard to stay away from my freezer stock up, because I've got a lot of meat in there, but I don't want to use the meat that's raw. I will use the ground beef that I've already pre-cooked and frozen for future use. That you do have to use. The other ground beef that might be raw, that can wait. So I'm going to kind of go through and see what I've got. Today is the 3rd, and we did have black-eyed peas and cornbread on the 1st. I had some bag salad that I got last week at Aldi, and that's just what I turned into all of our lunches. I did have a bag of Sam's Club bacon. It's like a 20-ounce bag of pre-cooked bacon. It's ready to go. It's like, I think something like $8.98 for a bag, but it's already open. So once you open something like that, it needs to be used. I've got probably half a bag. That's got to be used. I did add some of that to the salads. But I've used up one whole bag of salad, and that was like lunches for, I think, 4 days. And things that need to be used in the refrigerator, because I'm not going to let any of that go to waste. So let me, and I'm going to try to track what we're having. So on the 1st, we did have black-eyed peas and cornbread. We have leftovers. We had leftovers on the 2nd. And today's the 3rd. I have no clue what I'm making, but I'm going to go take inventory and see what I've got in my refrigerator that needs to be used up before it goes bad. I'm not going to let anything go bad. And I'll be back and it's going to be a little bit different kind of menu planning. I do have a whole list of cheap meals that I might could make. And I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, these are just a few things I've come up with just from my head, based on, you know, what I have on hand and what I might be purchasing in the month of January. So I've got, that's obviously what we had on the 1st. So, but we've got a whole variety of cheap meals, and that container of grits, that's going to go a long way. I've always got in my pantry cornmeal mix so I can make cornbread, and I always have self-rising flour and regular all-purpose flour so I can make biscuits. but a whole variety of things that I can make based on what I have in my freezer. Not in my freezer, freezer only if it's been pre-cooked, but in the refrigerator, in my pantry. Most of this, though, I'm going to try to stick as much as I can to what I'm purchasing this month. And but I'm obviously going to use my seasonings, going to use my fats that I have, whether it's olive oil, avocado oil, butter, any of that kind of stuff. But so just some ideas, and I may come up with some other things. This is just kind of what, you know, while I was at work, I opened up a Word document, and as something crossed my mind, I pulled it up, added it, and then minimized it back down and went back to work. So, you know, sometimes your mind wanders when you're doing other things. So I just kind of keep a document open so that I could, you know, kind of put it down. So I'm going to look and see what I want to make tonight, because I don't want to pre-plan too far ahead. But I do have to divide up that ham into serving size bags, or how much I think I need for a serving. Divide that up so that I can get most of that in the freezer. I'm going to do the same thing with all that rotisserie chicken. That's a lot of meat. And it's not going to, you know, it doesn't last forever. You got a few days to get it bagged up and in the freezer, or you know, you've lost your rotisserie chicken. So, yeah, I need to do all that, and I'll come back when I figure out what I want to make for dinner tonight. Well, y'all, I know this video's been all over the place, but it's just kind of a, you know, play by ear kind of thing, and see what I can come up with. And that menu plan is very loose based on what looks like it might be on its last leg. If something else needs to go in a spot for dinner this week, then it will. I may need to do some cook ahead on Sunday. I may need to create like some breakfast sandwiches for my daughter so that she can grab and go, because she's starting back to school this coming Monday, back to college. So I need to be sure I have options for her breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. She does. So you know, that's, you know, I need to kind of plan for that. So probably do a little bit of work tomorrow afternoon, and if I do, I will bring you along. But that's it for this video, and we'll just, hopefully we can do really well and be at $1 a day for all the meals for the month of January 2026. Can it be done? Hopefully. See y'all later. Bye.